Have you ever caught yourself stuck in a loop of negative self-talk, feeling like no matter how hard you try, you're never good enough? You're not alone. Self-doubt can be paralyzing, stopping you from taking action and holding you back. But luckily, there's a way to break free. By shifting your mindset, you can take control of those toxic thoughts and start creating a future that feels big, bold, and empowering. In this video, I'm going to show you how to silence that inner critic, replace it with confidence, and develop a plan that turns self-doubt into a fuel for your success. But first, we need to talk about the most important thing that anyone needs to know before breaking out of the cycle of self-doubt. You know, your mind is like a factory, a thought-producing factory. It's constantly churning products, but instead of physical items, it's manufacturing thoughts. And these thoughts either empower you or hold you back. Now think about it like this. Right now, you're running a factory that's producing defective products, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt. These faulty thoughts might sound like, I'm not good enough, I can't handle this, or I'll never succeed. The problem is that these negative thoughts don't just sit in your head, they dictate how you act, and ultimately, they shape your reality. Imagine being the manager of a factory where every product is flawed. That factory wouldn't stay in business for long, right? But the truth is, this is exactly what happens with negative self-talk. The more you allow it to run the show, the harder it becomes to take action, build confidence, and move forward in life. But here's the good news. You're also the CEO of this thought factory. You have the power to change what gets produced. Instead of manufacturing self-doubt and fear, you can choose to produce thoughts that empower you, thoughts that inspire confidence, courage, and belief in your ability to succeed. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about taking control of the production line and actively choosing to shift from limiting beliefs to positive, big thinking that can move you forward in your life. And that's the first principle you need to understand. Unless your mind produces empowering positive thoughts, you will always doubt yourself, making it impossible to have a high self-esteem. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a massive transition. Where do I even begin? I don't want to complicate things or make it overwhelming, and that's totally fair. The good news is that step one isn't about flipping your entire life upside down. It's actually quite simple. All you have to do is start by imagining yourself as a higher, more capable version of who you already are. Let's call this your super self. Picture it. This super self is confident, competent, and able to tackle whatever challenges life throws your way, even in areas where you have struggled in the past. Now, I know this might feel a bit far-fetched at first, but that's okay. The key here is to make this vision as vivid as possible. Really visualize it. What does your super self look like? How do they carry themselves? What kind of life are they leading? The goal is to solidify this image in your mind so that it becomes more real than the doubts and limitations you have been living with so far. And to make this vision even stronger, I want you to grab a pen and some paper. Write down everything you've just imagined, this bigger, bolder version of yourself. By putting it on paper, you're taking a tangible step to reinforce this new direction, and you're actively challenging the old beliefs your mind was producing. But don't get it twisted. This isn't becoming someone else. It's about stepping into a better version of who you already are. Your super self is just you, only more confident, more capable, and more driven. Once you start envisioning your more capable, confident super self, you're one step closer to becoming that person, but you still need to do some work to get there. Which leads us to the next principle, where you'll actually start going closer to your super self and ignoring negative self-talk. Now you've got this vision of your super self, the next step is to bring it to life through action. But how do you do that without getting overwhelmed? You start by taking that bigger, more capable version of yourself and tying it to ambitious goals that push you, but you can also break down into smaller, manageable steps. The key here is to make these steps achievable. Each one should move you closer to the person you envision, but not feel so intimidating that it stops you in tracks. But here's the important part. You're not aiming for perfection. Forget about getting everything exactly right every single time. This process is about progress. Each step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to that super self. It's better to consistently move forward, even in small increments, than to be paralyzed by the fear of not doing things perfectly. As you work toward your best self by achieving micro goals, each small success builds on the last, creating a continuous upward cycle. The more you repeat this process, the more confident you become, and the bigger your goals will grow.